Welcome to the Tuesday Review. I'm Nathan, as always, joined by Callum and James. How you going, boys?
Not bad.
Bit weird today, wearing headphones.
Yeah, I know, we've got some equipment back on.
So for the
first time in years.
If listeners remember, it's been over a year since we haven't been able to use headphones. Actually, can you turn the headphone volume up? Because I can't really hear it properly.
Okay,
yeah, that's better.
Yeah,
that's nice.
Better? Okay.
Oh yeah. Not that I like the sound of my own voice, but now I can.
No, I know what you mean.
Now at least we can monitor, mic technique, and also hopefully we can introduce some soundboard effects.
It's
going to
get very tacky very quickly.
Oh yeah.
Because that's something we've been wanting to do on the show for quite a long time is have a soundboard or play with a little bit, like sound effects and stuff like that. And something in front of us where we can see messages that might get sent in live or that kind of stuff. More integration of technology into the show. Yeah. And, with community radio, sometimes it's hard. No one gets paid. Maintenance is sometimes a bit of a struggle. And we found a good, effective way to do it ourselves. To do it without a hack. Yeah. So that's exciting for the show. Mm-hmm. We had some other housekeeping.
Sorry to mention that. It's just
No, it's
different.
Yeah, because it is obviously at home it's going to sound the same, but for us it's this is the first time we've used headphones in over a year, I think. That used to be just normal practice because that's what you do.
Yeah.
And then we stopped because the headphone jacks weren't working. Now we find the hack to get around that, and so now we can hear ourselves, and it's like old times.
That's it.
But it also sounds weird. I'm not used to it anymore.
Yeah, no, that's it. We'll have to we'll readjust.
Yeah.
Reacclimatize.
Can you put it? How loud can you go?
It's too loud. I'm not gonna.
Okay.
I'll put it a bit louder.
Wait, because you know why this is happening? Because it's probably really loud for you, but it's not as loud for me and Callum.
It's kind of loud for me.
Maybe.
I'm getting all this reverb. I can hear everyone else in the I can hear my own voice.
Yeah.
But anyway, it doesn't matter as long as we can
fiddle with your.
Is it connected in the thing properly?
Fine. It's fine. It'll be fine.
Anyway, so yeah, a couple other little housekeeping sort of announcements. We've been monitoring the Kickstarter campaign for Frayed Ally.
Yeah, so
and it's already fully funded.
Yes, but
spend $600 and get a jacket.
Oh, 100%.
If I had that,
I wanted it so bad.
I want one of those jackets.
I wanted it so bad. But if you because we talked about the Kickstarter, so the main project has been funded, which is great news, but they've still got stretch goals, and obviously the more money they get, the better, and the better the product can be in the end. So there's still a few weeks to support them, so make sure to go to the Frayed Ally Kickstarter, and even if you don't really want to support the game or aren't interested in buying the game, you can just chip in $1, and that'll just help them get a little bit further on. So if you can, check them out and give them some money if you can.
We'll post the link again on the socials. Still got a while to go for the Kickstarter, a couple of weeks.
2 or 3 weeks, yeah.
So it's good that the game's been fully funded.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's always that worry. I mean, obviously, for them is the main concern. But it's great to see when they get over the line.
Yeah, definitely.
And I'm excited for the game. Really looking forward to it.
Yeah. I hope we get enough to get the expansion pack too. That's one of the latest stretch goals.
The stretch goals help them.
Help the community.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, as we said last week, it's a Melbourne-based company. Let's support local. Yeah. The other thing we had to talk about is the actors' strike.
Yeah, it's just because we talked about the writer's strike a couple of times, and we mentioned the actors' strike, the SAG-AFTRA strike, and it was been going on for so long, and then the writer's strike ended. I think we mentioned that a couple weeks ago, maybe. Yeah. And now the actors' strike has ended as well, and I think they got everything they wanted to get in the agreement. So it's good news, and at least for the next few years, writing and acting will still be in Hollywood. At least will still be a viable career for a lot of people. So that's good. Obviously, the system needs to change. The corporations and companies and studios still need to be. There's a lot of work to be done.
Yeah.
But art and capitalism.
Yeah, it doesn't.
I like water and oil.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They don't work well together.
Yeah. But at least for the time being,
they have to work together.
The union, being part of the union, is a great thing, and they got a good result. So hopefully that means we can get Severance soon.
Well,
and hopefully they bring back Cobra Kai already, because should have come out in December and should come out this December, but I think they've pushed it back till next year.
I have a feeling it's been finished and then just sitting on
I think so.
Yeah.
Which is pissing me off. So
Yeah.
now that the actors' strike is ended, they can all the actors can promote it.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping they just release it in January or something.
I heard that the next time the contract's up for renewal, one of the sticking points will be getting. I mean, I want to use the term making it illegal, but disband, whatever the word is. I've been away.
Disallowing.
I've been awake a long time. I'm sorry. Disallowing vaulting of movies after they've been produced.
Yeah,
so that'll be hopefully something they can tackle next time.
The old Warner Brothers HBO tax write-off schemes. Yeah.
Because that's a problem now.
I mean, I know we don't spend millions of dollars on anything because we've never had millions of dollars, but like, I wish I could just spend a whole bunch of money on something and then just say, oh, it just stays in my garage. Can you give me all that money back or half of it back or whatever? Like,
it's ridiculous.
It feels like fraud.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like, oh, we spent all this money making this thing, but it'll cost too much money to release it, and so we just have to lock it away. And it's like, no, it's finished. Just release it. You've got digital platforms now. They don't cost you that much.
Man,
Stop lying.
I will give you $5 to watch it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't even make it
Put it for 99 cents on the iTunes store or whatever. Like, stop pretending.
But what's weird is these are like, one of the more famous ones recently was the Batman film that was...
Oh, the Batgirl.
The Batgirl movie.
Yeah.
And that should have come out on HBO Max.
Yeah.
We'll just release it on Max. You have the streaming service. You're not paying for it.
The most recent one is Coyote versus Acme, which is like a Who Framed Roger Rabbit style. I haven't seen the trailer, so I'm assuming it's about Coyote taking Acme to court over faulty products or something.
I don't know, yeah.
But apparently it was like, it screened really well, and they were going to give it a theatrical release, and then the CEO was like, nah.
Yeah.
So anyway, due to backlash, they're actually shopping it around. And hopefully, whichever studio picks it up will put it to theaters, and it'll make more than $30 million, because one of the reasons that they decided to vault it was because it cost them $30 million, and they didn't think it was worth the expense. So hopefully it'll make like $500 million, and the CEO will feel like a dum-dum. Look, and we can all move on.
They have, like what we're seeing with Optus here in Australia, people like the executives never actually get punished or reprimanded or anything.
Some of these guys,
they get massive bonuses.
The Nathan Fielder School of Business.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I hope there's a Nathan For You, the next Nathan For You season. He actually he's working for Warner Brothers. I had this really great idea, guys. Let's make movies and then vault them.
Yeah, it sounds ridiculous when you say it like that.
We need to go to the government and be like, all right, the Tuesday Review needs to go into a vault. Can you give us like a 90% tax reduction for next year if we don't do any more shows? And
I've spent a lot of money on this show. Can we just like take all the episodes down and you give us that money back?
Yeah, so that's interesting.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into
capitalism. Sucks.
It does suck.
It makes things hard, but that's okay. Life is hard.
Yeah, that's. So, let's not get into that.
Yeah. All right.
We're here to talk about movies.
That's it. I'll start things off. I had an Exorcism double feature the other day.
Oh.
I watched The Exorcist Believer and The Pope's Exorcist.
Oh.
The Exorcist Believer is...
bad.
It's a trash fire.
Mm-hmm.
It's a dumpster fire. Do not watch it. There is a moment... It starts okay, and it very quickly kind of just goes down the drain.
Mm.
There's a moment, mild spoilers, nothing too heavy, right? There's a moment in the movie where it's clear that the girl has a supernatural issue. They call in the priest. The priest takes one look at her and kind of nopes out of there initially. And then the main character looks towards the camera and he literally, word for word, we need to try something new. And I'm just like, oh god, reboot call, here we come. Yeah. Like it's kind of like all the red flags,
all the things that
what is this? Some type of Exorcist believer?
Yeah, all the things that Scream makes fun of that we talked about last week or whatever, like the week before or whenever it was, is stuff that these movies are doing. So I remember seeing the trailer and being like, oh, that's going to be bad, and then seeing directed by David Gordon Green, I was like, nope, that is going to be garbage. And guess what, it was. So.
And it's going to be a trilogy.
Of course. Oh yeah.
Oh man, so that's the next one is apparently titled The Exorcist Deceiver.
Oh.
And I wonder, is the third one going to be called The Exorcist Redeemer?
I wouldn't be surprised. You heard it here first.
Send us a check.
So yeah, the on the other hand, the Pope's Exorcist is better. It's not perfect.
With the Russell Crowe.
With the Russell Crowe doing the Italian accent.
For listeners, we're talking with our hands.
You have to end every sentence with It's a Russell Crowe.
It's a me, Pope's Exorcist.
It's all right. James is half Italian. It's fine.
Yeah,
he can say it.
Three quarters.
But he can say it. It's fine. Yeah. So Russell Crowe does his on-brand. We'll use the term woggy accent because it's very, it's very northern suburbs.
Unspecifically wog accent.
As he did that in the Marvel movie Thor.
Yeah,
he played
the Greek fish and chip shop owner.
Which apparently upset a lot of people. Which was great.
Us three seem to be the only people who like that.
Yeah, because apparently it was popular in Australia and New Zealand, but then other countries were like, I don't understand.
No, I think we're assuming that because...
No, I saw on the people talking about it on the internet.
Oh, okay.
A lot of American audiences were confused by it.
Yeah.
And then like Taika Waititi's from New Zealand, right? So we have the similar cultural issues. And Americans were like bemused by it. They didn't know what to make of it, but we're sitting there like going,
Yeah. I thought it was hilarious.
Cackling.
Yeah. But that's a better movie. It's a better kind of Exorcist movie, yeah. But again, it's average. Like all these.
Yeah, I'm not interested in any of those. Like, because you see the trailer and you're like, I know what that is. It's like, just cheesy kind of. I mean, I like cheesy movies, but
it's age appropriate and. It's MA, I believe, in Australia, but it's kind of age-appropriate horror, if you know what I mean. It's got
they still hold back.
There's nothing really dangerous about it. Or like all the demon says a couple of swear words. How scary!
Yeah,
like my mum is comfortable watching that, and she wanted to watch that again, but I can't get her to watch Smile because that's a real horror movie.
Oh yeah, that's
that's
got the jump scare.
She watched. She watched Barbarian, and she was really scared by it.
No, but that's like she watched Barbarian. I'm like, I'm sure she can handle Smile if she watched Barbarian, but Smile is more of an intense like jump scare, which so she might.
Yeah.
Actually, speaking of jump scares. Callum and I were just talking about Alan Wake 2 before we turned on the mics because he's been playing it. I just finished it. And he was saying, oh, it's so scary. And I'm like, I wasn't actually scared by it. There's one jump scare that got me like near the end of the game. It shook me.
You were shook it? See, this just goes to show how I used to be pretty good with horror games. I've always
been terrible.
But I feel like the older I get, the more I'm like, no, just give me my butterflies and my, my cats and leave me alone. I'm playing Alan Wake and, just going through a forest in the start area. And then someone will scream at the screen and I'm like, ooh.
Yeah. No, but mostly because there's a few jump scares.
Come on, that first boss battle, man, was intense. In the forest with it's very Resident Evil-like in its approach.
We won't go into the game now because once if you guys finish it and we'll talk about it properly. But I didn't find it that scary. But there was one bit at the end that really got me.
I will leave you with this though. I'm playing it and the whole time I'm thinking this deserves a Telltale entry.
Oh,
I'd love to see a version of the game where it's just story and narrative without the action survival elements.
That's one of the problems with Alan Wake 2 is that the gameplay is just so. The story, characters, like the world, the lore
is incredible.
Is Remedy at operating at its finest. Like it is really, really great. But the game itself, I'm like playing it and I'm like, the first one's a better balance of story and gameplay, whereas this one's like the story's great, but the gameplay, I'm like, we were talking like you said, you heard someone say it was like Kojima designed the combat.
Yeah,
and I'm like, I get that.
Yeah,
it's not that clunky, but it's a bit.
I think it's because they
We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it
talk about this
when
all day.
when you guys if you guys finish it, and then DLC is going to come out, and that's a whole nother anyway. You go on, Nathan.
I'll class this as a film because it originally apparently Google and IMDb consider it a film, but it's a limited series here.
What is it?
Last Stop at Larrimah.
Oh, yeah. But it's only a couple hours.
Yeah, but it's split into 2 episodes. But it's kind of the internet also considers it a film, so I'll talk about it now.
I think it's a movie, yeah.
Yeah. I watched that, and it was very good.
Yeah, I think I saw the trailer and I was like, oh, that looks interesting. And then Nathan and I were talking about it off air last week, and I'm
pretty sure it's made by the director, the director of Biosphere, which we talked about
during the Myth.
Yeah, is a producer for the Duplass Brothers production company.
Yeah,
and it's made by them. I'm pretty sure it's their company.
Their company, yeah. And I was like, oh, that's cool. You know, I should watch it then, but I haven't had time.
I went out of my way to watch it, and it's really good.
Okay, I'll check it out.
It's about a town of 11 people, and one of them gets killed. Who did it?
It's a true story?
True story.
And it's in the town's obviously in Australia.
It's in Northern Territory, small town called Larrimah, of 11 people. And it's basically just kind of like the destruction of a small town, essentially. Because there's a murder. And obviously you can't trust your neighbours anymore.
Yeah. There's only a few suspects because there's only a few people.
Exactly. But you can't trust anyone.
Yeah.
And it's kind of about that kind of the mind games and all that kind of stuff. Who's telling the truth? And I'll be honest, no spoilers here. None of them are good people. There's no
maybe it's
which makes it more interesting because you're thinking
maybe they're all
well, that's the thing, you don't know, there's some revelations at the end which I'm not going to talk about, which kind of give you a better indication of who the killer was. It's fairly clear who probably murdered the victim by the kind of last 10 minutes, but they all have those qualities of, they're not quite all terrible people, but I feel like anyone could have done it. There's definitely that kind of what they call in the documentary a bushy kind of atmosphere. They don't trust the cops. Yeah. They handle problems themselves. They're all a bit rough. Yeah. Because when you live in a town of 11 people and it takes you an hour to get there from the nearest small town, you can't rely on anyone but yourself to survive. I really enjoyed it, and I suggest everyone should watch it. It's a really good documentary.
Yeah, I'll check it out.
Yeah, it's only an hour and 57 minutes. It's pretty good. Yeah. That's all I've got for films. I guess, who's got the longer list here, Callum or James?
I mean, depends how far back I go. But let Callum go because he's been watching a lot of stuff.
Look, I won't take up too much of your time. Did I talk about the Wes Craven trilogy yet?
Not on air.
Okay, so I'll start with that. It's a Blu-ray set that we saw some time ago, and we saw it. There was some YouTube video or something, or some video we saw about one of the movies, and we were like, "Oh, we should watch that."
Oh no, it's because Nathan watched the Serpent and the Rainbow documentary, and I said, "Have you seen the movie?" And he said, "No." And I said, "What are you doing? Go watch the movie. It's great. You and Callum will love it." And Nathan never did, but Callum finally...
We were going to watch it together, all three of us.
Because I've had it for years. It's a great movie.
But then I was like, I'm just going to watch it because it's in the stack. And, the stack is what the stack is.
Stack is God. Callum's God.
Yeah, that's it.
It's the Blu-ray stack.
That's it. So I watched the Wes Craven trilogy set, which was made by...
is it that the grey label? Yeah. Shout? No.
It starts with C.
Shock.
Yeah. Maybe. Yeah. Anyway, it starts with The People Under the Stairs.
That's a great movie.
Fantastic. It's more of a thriller slasher film about a kid who wants to rob a house which has a couple living in there, but they also have people living under the stairs. About people in quotation marks. But it's a really interesting story because it's funny being a Twin Peaks fan. The two people in the two antagonists are
Big
Ed and his wife from
Twin Peaks.
And the Big Ed. His name's father in the film, but I'll just call him Big Ed because why not?
Yeah.
He chases people around in a gimp suit and he has a shotgun.
It's awesome.
It's horrific looking, but it's also amusing to watch as he's blasting the walls and he just looks like a freak.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's a great film.
Great
Check
movie,
it out.
yeah.
I don't want to spoil it. The second movie in the trilogy was The Serpent and the Rainbow, which absolutely blew my socks off.
Yeah, I told you guys would like it.
A really great performance by Bill Pullman, though he's always good. But I was talking to James about it last week. I think it's very reminiscent of like an early John Constantine story where it's like a man from the West interacting with strange magic.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, like
voodoo.
Yeah. And there's quite a few Constantine stories where he does have to come up against voodoo, and you know, one of his nemesis is what's his name is a voodoo priest.
I can't remember. Yeah.
Gosh, that brings
Papa Midnight.
Papa Midnight. That brings me back. Yeah. Wow. But yeah, it's a really interesting story about a guy who tries to find a drug to help with anesthesia research or something, and he ends up, you know, falling in love with a local.
Is it
woman.
Is it Haiti?
Haiti, yeah.
He's in Haiti, yeah.
And he ends up getting more than he bargained for. You know, like the worlds combined. If that makes sense.
You know, there's so many quote unquote zombie movies out there, and not a lot. I mean, there's a good few. But most of them are pretty bad. This is a good one where it's technically not a zombie movie, but it kind of is.
It's like literal voodoo zombies as opposed to like the zombies.
Yeah, it's undead.
Yeah, it's like a slightly different take on it, and it's really interesting, and it's really well made.
It's really interesting because it also deals with what happens when you start to lose your grip on reality, like the impact that drugs or the psychological effect of voodoo, this, you know, the waking nightmares kind of stuff, and the visual imagery that this is Wes Craven at one of his higher points. We like the visual imagery, the practical effects.
Oh yeah, good.
It was shot on location somewhere. It's not all done on a soundstage or something. So it looks beautiful.
Yeah, it's awesome. Awesome movie.
There's Haitian voodoo in The Exorcist Believer. I'm not suggesting you go watch it, but there is a Haitian voodoo element to that movie.
Yeah, Nathan and I were talking about this off air, like where it would have been more interesting instead of, because every Exorcist movie is just about a Catholic exorcist, and I'm like, you can still do an exorcism in different
cultures have
religion,
different
culture, so I'm like, it would have been much more interesting to just call it, you know, still call it The Exorcist, because you got the brand recognition, you got to make the money for the studio, whatever, but, you know, do something new, focus on like the Haitian voodoo exorcism, or another religion or culture or time or place or whatever,
because most cultures have that analog to
possession,
all that kind of black magic-y kind of stuff.
Yeah, so that would have been much more interesting, but of course studios don't take chances, and we already made fun of their whole reboot
Speaking of voodoo, they moved on to Child's Play.
Yeah, nice segue.
Yeah, which is again.
I wish we had the soundboard.
Hi, my name's Chucky. I'm your friend to the end. Which involves again possession of a sort. Where
there's a theme.
Yeah, where a man possesses a child's doll.
Yeah. Oh, you didn't talk about the last Wes Craven movie because it's not worth talking about.
Oh yeah, I forgot Deadly Blessings. Yeah, I didn't like it.
Yeah.
I honestly I watched it because, you know, the stack, I had to watch it. But I honestly, all right.
You don't have to go into it.
No. Boring characters. I did not care about the characters or the world. There was no engagement in the story to keep me invested. The murders weren't particularly creative or scary. The movie only really gets going in the last 20 minutes, but by that point it's too late. So yeah, do not watch. The first two movies, bangers.
Oh yeah.
But Deadly Blessings, I don't know what happened, if he just did it because he had a contract with some company and he had to just get something done, or maybe he had a vision that didn't pan out. I don't know.
Probably.
Look, the man has a good hit rate. I'm not going to hold it against him. But yeah, nah, it sucked. Sorry, Wes. But Child's Play, on the other hand, doesn't suck.
No.
Don Mancini is the man.
Mm-hmm.
And the original trilogy are my favorite. Like, I like the original trilogy the most out of the 7 films.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, you know, they're movies in the 80s and the early 90s. They
practical effects.
They look nice.
Much
you know?
better, yeah.
Like, especially like in the first one, you go out in the snow and you get to see the trains, and it's so bright and colourful and real.
Yeah.
I like the first one and the third one. Like the most?
I think I like the third
Nathan
one.
said that too, and I was like, no, 2's way better than 3. So that's interesting that you guys felt that.
Only because I like the boarding school aspect of 3. I like the war games at the end.
Yeah, I
like
think
that.
the idea is better than the execution. And apparently a lot had to get toned down because they're dealing with kids at this boarding school, so they had to. The studio wouldn't let them go full. But
it was also different. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it was...
Yeah.
Like, they're all really good.
But I think the second half of the second one, especially with the toy factory at the end, is just so
that
cool.
was very Terminator-y. That was cool.
Awesome.
Yeah. And the melting and
yeah, that
was sick. Bride of Chucky is interesting because it introduces Jennifer Tilly.
Yeah.
So hot.
She's so great. But like,
and it's funny. I looked her up when I was looking at trivia for movies, and she's still kind of hot today.
Oh yeah. She's still in the series, the Chucky, the Chucky series. Because like that, I think I talked about this when I talked about the Chucky movies last year or whenever it was. Because Don Mancini wrote them all, and now he's got the TV show. It's like an all continuation of the same characters, the same timeline. So it's been, when the first one came out, like 87, 88. So it's been over, it's been like 35 years, and they're still keeping up the timeline and the character. Yeah, which
it's still intact.
We talked about with Scream is like that's the only other one that's kind of really kept the same timeline. Most other horror franchises, they reboot themselves or they go off in different, and they change filmmakers and change this and change that. But yeah, Child's Play.
Bride and Seed of Charles are really good. I like those two. As obviously companion.
Seed of Chucky is really interesting because like I was watching it, I'm like, I can understand if people hate this, but I kind of love it because it's just so crazy.
That's where he has the kid.
Yeah, and the whole like the Glenn or Glenda, like it's just.
So what I like about Child's Play is even though Chucky's a slasher, he also has his own personal growth through the franchise.
Yeah, and he gets like his little family, like
but also like he has these great one-liners.
Yeah,
like in number 3 where like he goes, "This is war."
Yeah,
and I was like, yes.
Yeah.
But like you get to Bride and Seed of Chucky, and it starts to deal with Charles Lee Ray's own personal commitment issues, the way he feels about kids.
Yeah,
and it's this weird. He gets this weird interior growth.
Yeah,
that like people like him don't like. Jason, for example.
Yeah,
that man doesn't get growth.
No.
Leatherface doesn't get growth.
No.
Ghostface doesn't get growth as
Michael Myers, Pinhead. Yeah.
But Chucky has this kind of identity problems.
He's more personality based. I guess he's closer to Freddy Krueger. Like he was a real guy, a serial killer, and then he got turned into a slasher.
So it was interesting. And then Cult of Curse are kind of the weaker ones
they're lower budget, but I think they're really interesting because they introduce all these new aspects, and Don Mancini comes and directs them. And
I didn't hate him. Curse looks bland. Like it's very
it's very low budget. It's all in the house. And
Cult looks better. It looks a bit more vibrant. But yeah,
they're all worth watching. They're all worth watching.
I said to Callum, they all offer you something different.
Yeah, they do.
Like, they're all worth it.
It's a fantastic little collection.
And I think, I know you're just sticking to your Blu-ray shelf, but I recommend the TV show because it's so damn good.
So you're going to think I'm a crazy man. So my plan is to finish the stack.
But it's never going to end because you always buy new, and then always.
Oh no, I watch more than I buy. So eventually.
I wish that happened. I wish that happened with me.
Yeah, no. It'll end, but then I'm going to start watching all the movies that are exclusive to whatever streaming service. So then I'm going to watch the exclusives on Max.
All right, we'll talk to you in 2047.
No. I make allowances for the show. So if we're going to watch The Curse,
obviously.
But it's like then I'll focus on like the Max exclusive content. So I'll watch The Wire. I'll only watch The Wire until that's done. And then I'll move on. Blah 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 blah. I'm a madman. My mum thinks it's ridiculous.
We talked about it though. As long as you're enjoying it and you're not just doing it because you feel like you have to, whatever. Because I'm so far behind on TV shows and it's pissing me off. But I'm like, you know what? I'm just not going to worry about it. If I can't get to a show, I can't get to it.
I have a rule. I'll watch one classic show that I haven't seen, and then I might watch something new.
Yeah.
So it kind of balances.
But if I start something, I have to finish it. Whereas I think you guys sometimes you'll start something and then you'll go off onto something else, and you might come back to that thing or you might not. But whereas I'm like, I'm going to finish it so then I can say I have seen this.
That's why the stack is excellent.
Yeah.
Because it's there, and I don't watch anything else. I watch the stack.
I should, yeah. I mean, I should probably start because my stack isn't a stack; it's stacks.
Yeah, well, mine's I've got the whole.
I mean, you've got the shelf,
Yeah.
but you pick. Do you have any? Is there any way of you picking, or do you just choose whatever chunk is next on the shelf?
So what I do is I go shelf by shelf on the bookcase. But if I've watched a movie a million times and I've already seen that Blu-ray, I won't watch it.
Okay.
So I mainly pick movies I haven't seen in a long time, or Blu-rays that I haven't seen.
Yeah.
Like if I might have seen it on DVD or on streaming, but I haven't watched the Blu-ray.
Yeah.
Then it qualifies as a stack movie.
Because I've got like shelves and shelves and shelves and stacks and stacks and stacks of Blu-rays. And what I do is just like I try to whatever I'm feeling like, but I'm spoiled for choice.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking I might do what you do and just like pick 10 and say I'll get through these.
Yeah.
And then
it sounds it sounds so restrictive and it sounds so dumb, but it's honestly freeing.
No, yeah.
Because I'm like, okay, I've got these movies that I'm watching.
After a certain amount, choice is a punishment.
Exactly.
No,
like,
that's right. I'm like, I don't have a choice. I watch the stack.
I know this sounds crazy, but for someone with my collection, standing in front of my shelf for an hour and just going, what do I want to watch? That has happened before.
Yeah.
And just going, like, looking at all the cases and, like, checking the running times and going, oh, what's the special features? And then by that point, I'm, like, tired and I'm like, I'm just going to go to bed.
You don't have to watch the stack in order.
No,
you know what I
yeah.
mean? It's just you got your movies, and then if you've only got 90 minutes, you find the 90-minute film.
Yeah.
The other movies I've been watching are the Friday the 13th movies.
What are you up to?
The third one.
Okay.
So I've seen the first two, but what I like about them is they're so lean, at least at the beginning. You know,
they're like
90-minute movies.
Yeah.
Like, you know, half an hour establishes
There's not a lot
and
going
then
on.
the last hour pumps by. So I got 7 more to go.
Yeah, we'll come back to that.
But then I've got lined up Who Killed Roger Rabbit as a palate cleanser.
That's a great movie.
On 4K, which I haven't seen on 4K yet. And then I've got the Prophecy collection.
Yeah, I got
I'm
that
doing
too.
my Halloween now, as opposed
to...
you're
a bit behind.
The stack is the stack. And then I've got the Hellraiser 4K quartet.
See, at home, the Christmas tree is getting put up tomorrow. That's officially the start date where I start watching Christmas movies.
No, man, it's not December. December 1st. You got to start.
We're putting it up earlier this year.
Well, no, see, our mum started playing Christmas music at home. And then I was like, you know, if it's early enough to play Christmas music, it's early enough to put up the
Christmas
tree.
Movies. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Both apply.
Yeah.
Yeah, like...
Now,
and then she started to argue about it. And then I was like pointing at the TV. I'm like...
Home Alone on repeat.
Yeah, that's about it for me.
Look, we'll get to James in 1 second, and we'll be back after this short break. We're back. Just doing a review roundtable. This week's been a bit of a possession obsession. But what have you got?
A what?
Possession obsession.
Possession obsession.
Yeah, we've referenced possessions and exorcisms a lot this week.
Oh, I'm going to write that down, but as the show title, but I don't know.
I don't know. Callum's got possession on his stack.
Hang on, I'm going to check.
I do have possession, the movie Possession as well, yeah.
He's got possession on his stack. I've been watching the Exorcist movies.
Yeah.
Callum
had the Child's Play, Exorcist. Yeah. Let me check my list real quick, see if I can have any connection as well.
Is there a possession obsession this week, James? Or are you the weak link?
I'll probably be the weak link. No, that doesn't match. No.
Come on, James. You watch like 1,000 movies a week.
Yeah, I know, but
you should have something for the boys.
No, that's technically... I mean, nothing really possession-y.
I mean, you know, you can have another type of possession. Have you been watching any narco movies?
Jeez.
No, nothing.
Oh, well.
That's okay. Well. We tried. That's
2 out of 3 ain't bad.
Yeah. All right. So what have you been watching for us lately, James?
All right.
Or notable movies, I should say.
So, I mean, I could go back to Spooktober.
Did you watch Minari?
Yes, I did.
How do we feel?
10 out of 10.
How good is it, man?
Great movie.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. So, I mean, I remember...
A man possessed by a need to succeed?
Yeah. Obsessed with his farm. Yeah, I remember when it came out and I was like, oh, I really need to see that movie. And I just never got around to it. I missed it at the cinema and I just couldn't get... And I bought it on Blu-ray and it's been on my shelf for years.
Yeah, I don't know when I bought it. I bought it a long time ago.
Yeah.
I've never watched it. And
It came
Callum's
out-
like, oh, I got this movie on the SAG. Should I watch it? I should watch it.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I don't know. I bought it, but I've never seen it.
It's a great one.
Oh, it's so good.
I love movies about people trying to make it in America.
Yeah.
You know,
It's also...
especially like in like places like down south. You know what I mean? Like that Outsider movie.
Yeah.
I love them.
It's also like when we saw Perfect Days at MIF, it's like it's not a slice of life movie, but it's got that.
It's a bit more drama heavy, but it's very kind of.
But it's got that.
We're going to watch some guys do some gardening.
Yeah.
Now we're going to watch them driving a car, like going to sell some pro.
Yeah. It's like it's quiet and it's not.
It's contemplative.
It's not an action movie. There's no
pastoral.
Yeah. But that, I mean, if you've been paying attention to movies over the last few years, you've probably heard of Minari. But if not, it's about like a Korean American family, like immigrant family, and the dad moves the family out to the countryside from the city to start a farm, and of course that causes a lot of tension.
For specifically Korean produce.
Yeah, Korean vegetables.
Yeah, there's this idea that since more Koreans are moving to America, they're going to need a place for authentic Korean vegetables, which is him trying to sell that to like the Korean and Asian grocery stores.
Yeah. But of course, it's like it's not, really working out, and it's like it costs a lot of money, and like the kids are growing up, and they're having health problems and all this, and so it's just like a family drama. It's like peak family drama, like one of the family dramas I've seen in a long time.
Man, the man just doesn't get a break.
Yeah,
his wife, man. I was like, man, just have some understanding. He works hard. But no.
I mean, he is.
Oh, no one's perfect.
Yeah, no, it's, I wasn't really taking sides, but it's a great movie. Check it out. A24, they're the king.
They are the kings.
Stephen Yeun is like one of the best actors probably working right now. Maybe one of the best actors of his generation. Probably one of the best actors of his generation. He's so goddamn good. Everyone's good in that movie.
Yeah.
That movie's it's a great movie. Yeah, if you haven't seen it, check it out. It's awesome.
Now you need to watch Tender Mercies. That's the other one I tell you to watch. But
yeah, I haven't seen that one yet.
That's it. I tell my mum to watch Minari and Tender Mercies, and I say the same to you.
Yeah, I mean, if it's a good movie, you got to tell everyone to watch it. Now, will they listen? That's another.
I'm sorry for derailing this.
Or will they have time to watch? In my case, well, I watched a whole bunch of horror movies over Spooktober that I didn't get to talk about.
Well, just give us the notable ones.
I think this ship has sailed.
Oh man, I'm only watching horror movies.
Yeah, I know. I mean, now see, but this I think this happened last year as well. Where it was like Spooktober, boys, let's watch horror movies. And then November came, and then Nathan's like, "Oh, I'm gonna start watching Chucky." I'm like, "Spooktober's over," and you're like, "No, it's Spookvember now." And I'm like, "Okay."
Well, I got Silent Night, Deadly Night lined up for my Christmas watching.
See, that's good because if you miss it,
crossover,
it's like more Christmas. Yeah. Maybe I'll skip that, and we can come back to that another time if we really want to.
Just give us some notable ones, man. What were your highlights or lowlights?
Well, I mean, I talked about all the Scream and all the
the Texas
Chainsaw Massacre movies. I also watched Lake Mungo, which is an Australian found footage movie that I kept meaning to watch. I meant to watch it last year, didn't get around to it. Finally got to watch it this year. Really, really good. Really, really effective. For a found footage, like an Australian movie, found footage, like documentary style, like faux documentary, like about a girl who goes missing or whatever. Really, really good, really effective. The end of the movie the best horror movies are where the end kind of will stick with you for a long time. So if you can find Lake Mungo, I'd recommend checking it out. It's haunting and effective. I watched a bunch of other ones. I'll skip that. Yeah, who cares about that? Yeah, I mentioned Motel Hell briefly.
Quantity isn't quality, I guess.
Oh no, it's just like because I mean I don't know what to focus on, but
just pick one.
I'll skip to what I've been watching sort of this month. I watched Hot Potato, the story of the Wiggles, that Wiggles documentary. It's really good.
Really?
Where was it?
Yeah. It's on Amazon Prime.
Okay.
It's a new documentary on Prime.
It's for adults.
No,
right?
it's an adult. It's about the Wiggles, like how they started, how they came up with the songs, how they got together, how they started the TV show.
Is there any dark underbelly? Or
Yeah,
is it very tame?
no, 100%, very very dark. Yeah, it's really good.
I'm more interested now.
No. Like honestly, like I mean,
is Jeff ironic because he has a habit? It's like he's
not. Yeah.
he wasn't pretending to fall asleep. He was actually falling asleep.
They just worked it into the show.
Yeah, they worked it. No, there's a lot of stuff like that where it's like we had to do this because so and so got sick or so and so was depressed or whatever. No, it's a really good documentary.
Interesting.
And I mean, for anyone probably our age and younger, Wiggles was a huge part of our childhood.
It still is for kids.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. It's from pretty much from
younger,
your 30s and all the way to kids now. The Wiggles has always been.
Well, I know Nathan and myself rocked out to the Wiggles.
Oh yeah, 100%.
As children,
and actually watching this documentary opened up a lot of memories that I had forgotten.
Yeah,
of like when I was a kid. I was like,
fruit salad, yummy.
Yeah, and I remembered all the lyrics, and I was like,
big red car.
yeah. But every song is a banger, man. Even now, I'm like, oh man, that was so good at writing kids
Slightly
songs.
off topic, the kid Leroy brought out the Wiggles at one of his recent concerts, and they unironically just did like a Wiggles song.
They did that reunion tour where it's like 18s, over 18s only, because just people love them, and that would have been awesome. But they did an album recently where they did covers of other bands' songs, but in like a Wiggles style.
Yeah,
it was awesome.
They were on Triple J.
They did.
Like
I think that's what started it. They did like a version, like a Tame Impala song, but in the Wiggles style, and it blew up so much. I think they did a whole bunch of other ones. I think.
Well, I mean, if you're creatively bored, right? You're the Wiggles. You've been doing this for 30, 40 years.
Yeah, this is.
I'm like, this is kind of fresh. You know, it keeps it creatively engaging.
Yeah. But it's also like, it's like perfect, the perfect mashup.
Yeah.
For
adult fans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Closer by the Wiggles.
We have to call them up and be like, look, we don't have to release it, but you got to make it just for the boys.
Hey, AI exists now.
Actually, yeah.
We'll make our own Wiggles album.
Yeah. At least a couple of the Wiggles wouldn't say no. A couple of them might. I don't know. We'll see. We'll have to negotiate.
You'll hear it here first.
Yeah.
We'll send an email to get
Oh, God.
But anyway, it's a really good documentary. So everyone remembers the Wiggles. I don't think you can forget the Wiggles.
Even if you're not a fan, you know of them. You know the songs.
Yeah, everyone knows them. They're like the biggest children's entertainment in the world. Like, even like there's like an Indian version, a Mexican version. Like
they're a franchise.
And they're huge in America. So it's not just like Australian kids who only 90s kids know. But it's like great documentary. Did you guys watch David Fincher's The Killer?
No,
not yet.
It's good, not great.
Okay.
Yeah. I won't. Maybe I won't go. Yeah, it's good.
The only thing I know was that I saw Kojima watch The Killer, and he watched the Marvels, and he did this whole paragraph on The Killer, and then he tweets out, "I saw the Marvels."
Yeah.
His
acceptable way when he says he doesn't like a movie, he just says
like, I saw it.
Yeah. And I was like, okay, Kojima, I see how it is.
Yeah.
I'm behind on Marvel, man. I'm
not. I'll watch a Marvel.
Wait for Disney
I'll watch
Plus
when it comes on Disney Plus.
Again, I haven't even seen Loki season.
Yeah, I haven't started Loki yet. Maybe I'll start it this week.
Yeah,
I just got to. Like I said, I'm so far behind.
Again, I heard it's not as good as the first season, but I'm not surprised.
Yeah. Yeah, The Killer was good, but it's not like best top. I think my problem with David Fincher is he's a great filmmaker.
Yeah.
But for me personally, his last great movie was Zodiac, which is 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Zodiac's a masterpiece.
Yeah, and since then he's never topped that personally for me.
Zodiac's also kind of a dangerous movie, like to make, right? Because it's like 3 hours. It's kind of
but it also
dry.
came out before like the movies
changed,
are the way they are now. So you know, but now it's like his last 2 movies have been on Netflix, which again points to where sort of the film industry is at the moment. But personally, he's such a great filmmaker. But for me, his last 15 years of movies since Zodiac haven't been really my cup of tea. I didn't think Gone Girl was that good. Everyone was going nuts about it. Didn't think it was that good. Benjamin Button was okay. I didn't like The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, even though people like to jerk that movie off like there's no tomorrow.
You mean the remake?
The remake, the Fincher.
Watch the original.
The original. I like the original version. It's better.
The originals are better.
Yeah.
Or read the books.
I think, but I think, and you know, Fincher's one of those like directors where if you're even like slightly a film buff or like into, he's like, oh, everyone goes nuts for him, and like for me, since Zodiac, I haven't been super excited about a lot of his movies.
Yeah.
I like Mank, and I like The Killer, but yeah.
Look, he just needs to make another Mindhunter season, okay? Just that's all. Just give
that's
it,
all
please.
we want.
Just do it.
That's all we want.
He won't though.
And yeah. Anyway, I don't think it's necessarily he won't. It's just everything's a mess now with all the scheduling and the Netflix and whatever. But yeah, it's a good movie. Like, I'm not saying it's bad or anything, but I enjoyed it.
It's just not. It's not in the upper
Yeah,
echelon.
it hasn't. You know, because there are filmmakers who, like, maybe they're not as good as they used to be, but their stuff's still pretty good. And Fincher's like that, but I'm still kind of not really. He hasn't made anything that has been good.
Would you say that's true about Scorsese, or is he just changing?
I think
because Scorsese.
I think Scorsese peaked, you know, a long time ago. Like, his best movies are still behind him, but I mean, I think since Wolf of Wall Street, you know, Silence, maybe not The Irishman, but Killers.
They've been fairly high quality, with the exception of The Irishman.
Good. Yeah,
look, I don't think he's
pretty good.
I don't think he's capable of making a bad film. But when
I would disagree because I didn't like Hugo, but
it's
not that bad. That
was also him trying something different.
Yeah.
But I think that's like, you know, when you reach the highs that he's reached with Taxi Driver, with Goodfellas, you know, I guess Casino
with the big shave.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like when you reach
Raging Bull, I think is still his best movie.
I was trying to think what the name of that was, but when you reach those highs, it can be hard.
But that's what I'm saying. Yeah. So I don't think he'll ever reach that, especially now where the movie industry
but I also
is. And he's an older.
He shouldn't be expected to either, because I think he's making interesting films.
No, yeah.
I mean, like Silence, for example.
That's a great movie.
I think for a man of his age, that was a bold choice.
I think his last couple movies anyway, have been more contemplative and a bit slower, but in a good way.
No, he's done that before. I'm just saying, you know, like similar to other directors,
their best movies are behind
their best
them.
movies might have been behind them.
Yeah,
but
I think he's still got it.
Yeah, definitely.
He can't. He'll never be out. He's not able to lose it. But yeah, just
hopefully not. Yeah.
He's hoping for the Jesus movie coming up. So
yeah, I'm excited about that.
Bring Willem Dafoe back.
Yeah. In an age of all these awful sequels like that take place 30 years later, this is the one that I want. Scorsese, Willem Dafoe, Jesus is back.
In that Rocky font.
What are they going to call it? The Resurrection?
The Resurrection. Yeah. The Last Temptation Resurrections.
Oh no! Yeah.
I also watched a movie. A friend of mine, Ed, he put me onto a movie that's on Netflix, a Korean movie called Ballerina, which I'd never heard of. And he's like, "Oh, check out this movie. I think you'll like it. It's a really cool, like action, like revenge movie, like an action thriller." And Korean, like I really love Korean movies, especially action movies. Their action movies are so much better than American modern action movies.
Have you heard of this movie called Old Boy?
Have I heard of this movie called Old Boy?
Only movie buffs know it.
Yeah. We still need to talk about that at some point.
And we need to watch the Bollywood Old Boy.
Yeah, because that was the plan. Is Alan was supposed to do the double feature, which was like the weirdest double feature of all time.
Look, unfortunately, life got in the way, but hopefully we'll get that back underway soon.
Yeah.
I'm sorry for
but if you want to talk about Korean thrillers, we'll be here all night and all tomorrow. So,
is it some of these countries can do it really well because they have that kind of, we'll say, martial art culture where it's like more.
I don't think it's just that. It's just there's a less polished American Hollywood, like everything has to be flat CGI, boring, superhero. Like they take more risks. They're more violent. They're more dark. There's a sense of humor.
I'm guessing there's also more practicality in the stunts.
and they're probably made for a lot less money than American movies, but
more actors as stuntmen.
I don't think even that. It's just they put more care into the filmmaking, like American filmmakers or action movies used to. But yeah, it's just it's a different ballpark entirely. Yeah. But anyway, Ballerina, it's on Netflix, so if you got Netflix, you can watch it. It's really good. It's like a revenge. You know, this woman, her friend is killed and leaves a note and says, "Get revenge for me," and then she goes and like finds out what happened to her. And it's pretty simple, but it's a perfect example of a simple story that's executed really stylishly and really well. And it just goes to show you, even if you've got a really kind of by the numbers revenge story, if you shoot it well, it's got good acting, it's like music's cool and the action's well done, it takes you a long way.
Yeah. I mean, even look at the best modern examples, I would say John Wick generally is pretty simple.
Pretty simple, yeah.
Obviously, there's a lot of complicated lore.
That's the thing. We've talked about it before, where I think I've even said this, like people mistake simple for bad. Yeah. And I'm like, no, you know, not everything has to be super dark or deep or
you look
depressing or...
You look at the best James Bond movies. They're simple.
Yeah, it's just, you know...
Even Die Hard.
Yeah, just exactly. It's like it's the execution. It's all in the execution, and Ballerina is a good example of that. And after watching The Killer, which is David Fincher, so it's going to be kind of slower and weirder than a more conventional quote unquote action movie. Someone said, "Oh, it's like David Fincher saw John Wick," and I was like, "I can do that," but it's like not like John Wick at all, obviously, because it's David Fincher. But Ballerina, I was like watching it, I'm like, "Oh, it's much more entertaining. Action's much better done." It's a different movie, but it was just interesting to watch both of them on Netflix and sort of compare. And Ballerina, like cinematography is really cool too, so, and the music's really cool.
Shot on film or is it digital?
It's probably digital, but it looked really nice. So check that out if you can.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Cool.
I also saw Saltburn, which good, I think.
So what is Saltburn?
Oh, okay. So you know Barry Keoghan?
Yes.
Yeah, he's in a new movie where he's like an Oxford student, like what do you call it? Scholarship student, and he kind of gets in friends with the like rich cool kids, and so he's a bit of an outsider. And he gets invited to one of their houses, like it's this big manor, like this mansion.
Yes,
and
like I think I know them. Yeah,
the trailer makes it look like a lot crazier than it is.
Yeah, it's kind of some weird horror movie, or
that's what I was thinking, but it's not really that. The trailer makes it look more psychedelic, but it's not.
Yeah, okay.
It does get super weird and super uncomfortable, which I like. But the trailer was like much more frenetic and frantic, and I was like was waiting for that, and that didn't really happen. But it's a really cool, weird, creepy movie. But I wouldn't say I loved it or anything. I think it's good. I'm not sure. I think you guys might appreciate it, but I don't know if you'll have the same problem as that I did with it.
I generally like most movies. Like I have
you guys are more forgiving than me, I think. Sometimes
I have a very open mind about films. Yeah. Like I'll watch a romance, I'll watch any type of movie.
Yeah, no, me too. But
speaking about romance movies in 4K, sorry. I'm very excited because they're releasing When Harry Met Sally in 4K.
Yeah,
I saw that. Yeah,
day one purchase for me, man.
We downloaded it.
I think it looks gorgeous. I think it's already out.
Downloaded it legally.
Yeah, of course. I think it's already out on in Germany or something. Yeah. But like, has there been like an English sort of?
I'll import it if I have to.
Yeah. But I'm like, sometimes when they come out,
it's not hard.
No.
It's an English translation.
Yeah.
No. I know that. But I'm saying is sometimes they'll announce this movie coming to 4K in Germany and Italy.
Oh, yeah.
And you'll be like, okay, cool. I could technically import that movie, but maybe now that it's coming out on 4K in those countries, maybe a UK or a US or God forbid, an Australian release will get...
I believe it's already come out in America. I believe.
Okay. Because I don't remember seeing that.
It flew under the radar.
Maybe hopefully the transfer is good.
But yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, you were saying about Saltburn.
No. Yeah, it's just it's a weird movie.
How did you watch it? Is it on streaming?
No, I went to Pentridge.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I think like I'm trying to save money. I got a lot going on right now. I'm super busy, but there's so much good movies coming out, and I keep missing them. And like with Minari, it took me 3 or 4 years to get around to that. And I'm just like, you know what? If it's playing, I'm going to try and go see it if I can. So
yeah, why not?
I'm going to just try to go once every weekend or every couple of weekends and see if I can go see a new movie. Because there's all this cool stuff coming out. And, and that's the other thing is like, I don't get to talk about a lot of it on the show, but then I come on the show and I'm like, I don't know what people want to hear talk about, and I don't want to spoil anything because it's
James,
new.
Doesn't matter what the people want.
We
talk about what we want. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I honestly don't know anymore. Yeah.
But Saltburn sounds interesting. I might check that out when it comes out on Blu-ray or streaming.
Yeah, I think you guys... it's weird in a way that you guys would like, but I don't know if you'd have the same sort of problems with it that I did as well. But maybe we'll talk about it after you guys see it. Yeah, I mean, I've started a Letterboxd account. I guess listeners can follow that. If they go to Channel Drifter. I don't really review anything. I just kind of use it as a diary. So I just sort of put what I've watched.
I just spew venom.
Well, yeah. I don't really write reviews or rate films in any way. I just it's just to keep a catalog of what I've been watching. If someone is following me and sees that I've watched a movie and is a listener of the show, please let me know. Hit us up on the Facebook or the social media and let me know if you see that I've seen something and you want me to talk about it, because then I know what I should be focusing on. Or
yeah,
because at the moment I'm just I got all these lists of movies, and although I got all these TV shows I watched. I watched Fall of the House of Usher during Spooktober. Didn't get to talk about that. That was good. There's all these other shows that I'm behind on that I want to start. But anyway, we'll talk about that another time. I'm rambling now to fill air while we're getting ready to sign off.
No. I think we got some time.
No,
I just follow James on.
Oh, there you go.
So did I.
Callum, yeah.
I'm also on Letterboxd, but I'll probably use it very sparingly.
Look, I'm not James. I review. I tell people what I really think.
Yeah, but you keep forgetting to add movies when you watch them.
Yeah, I will be. It's a process.
It's not a process.
Also, you need to start adding reviews so I can comment with funny comments on your reviews, okay?
I've actually been...
I was going to reply to your Minari review with just an emoticon of an Asian vegetable, and I got knocked back because it's not a review.
Oh, you can't comment if there's no review?
Correct.
Okay, maybe I should just start putting little mini...
one line.
That way I can try and make James laugh.
Yeah. Actually, I want to... have we got time?
Yeah.
Well, might as well talk about this on there. And if listeners, if anyone's gotten this far and hasn't turned off, please let us know what you think. Because I don't like giving everyone who listens to this show for a long time knows I don't like giving movies a star rating or a number rating. I think it's arbitrary. For me, The Godfather is a 5 out of 5 film, but so is the first Fast and Furious movie. But they're very different movies. I love them equally, but they're so different. I can't really say they're both as good as each other. And The Godfather is better, but Fast and Furious is still one of my favorite movies. So I give both of them 5. It's just that doesn't mean anything. But
Letterboxd kind of forces you to.
Yeah, but that's what. But I don't. That's why on Letterboxd I just
you can and just have a little synopsis.
And that's the other thing is I just if I sort of enjoyed something, I just click like. But then on my Letterboxd, it's just a movie I loved, like Minari. I'll give it a like. No, I'll give it the like. But then a movie like The Boogeyman, which was that was okay, and I clicked like. I'm but there's clearly a huge gap. But I'm star rating wise, if I give Minari a 5, I'm the Boogeyman's what, a 2?
2, yeah.
But then I'm 2 is is that
yeah, no, I see your point.
I don't really, for me, rating. I've talked about this before. Rating movies is more like how much did I like it when I saw it?
Yeah.
How soon will I watch it again? Will I go, if I saw it at the cinema, will I go see it at the cinema again? How soon will I purchase it on physical media, if it, possible? Like, how much money will I spend on the physical media version? Like, will I buy the limited edition, whatever? Like, that to me is more of an indication of how much I liked a movie. But you can't, I was actually thinking of like how to turn that into words like reviews on Letterboxd.
We can think about that. Yeah.
So that's something if you have, like, I was thinking of like,
give us your ideas.
Because I know there's a podcast or a YouTube show I listen to, watch sometimes, Double Toasted, where they review movies and they give it like a rental or a matinee or a full price. I'm like, that maybe something like that, where I'm like, Oppenheimer, that's a day one 4K for me. So that's technically like 5 stars out of 5. But I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, we'll maybe have like purchase.
But like Boogeyman is
stream.
Like watch on streaming once. It was okay. Like I need a sort of some sort of indication.
Just write little reviews, man.
Yeah, but I don't.
Just like purchase, stream.
You see, you think too much about it. Joe, you're thinking too much about it.
But that's what I'm saying is,
like, you watch Minari, you put a really great movie, enjoyed this scene, done.
How about,
I don't know. Maybe I should just do that. Really good, awesome.
Purchase, rent, or stream.
To take the Hideo Kojima approach.
Or do not watch. Yeah,
take the Hideo Kojima approach. I watched Minari.
No, I'll do that for movies I didn't like. I watched this
Boogeyman.
movie. I watched this movie. Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah. I was actually,
I reckon that's not a bad plan. If you have like, I really like you purchased it. Or like, rent it, stream it.
Maybe I put, I really like this movie. I bought it on 4K straight away or something. And then something like The Boogeyman is like, I watched this on streaming. It was okay.
Yeah, exactly.
So at least,
or I really hated this movie. Ignore it.
Yeah, please, please, for the love of God.
Do not watch.
Left me with a sense of melancholy.
Loads shotgun.
Unintended melancholy.
Yeah. Not the Good Lives von Trier way.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'll see. So if you're listening, follow me on Letterboxd, Channel Drifter, and hopefully I'll start to put some little reviews. And
I've been meaning to do more on the socials, but I was sick last week.
That
didn't work.
We're
trying to be engaging.
Yeah. We had the Frayed Ally interview last week. We're hoping to set some more interviews like that up over the next few months. With Christmas and that and other stuff coming up, it's going to be really hard, but hopefully we'll have more stuff on the YouTube channel, so make sure you are subscribed to the Tuesday Review YouTube. Ring that bell. So that when something does eventually come up, you'll be notified. At the moment, there's just that one video, but hopefully we'll have more. I won't say soon, but hopefully we'll have more.
Yeah, definitely. All right, I'm getting hungry.
Yeah, let's go.
All right. Thanks for listening, everyone. Please like and share the Tuesday Review on Facebook, X/Twitter, Threads, Instagram, and Newsmaster and YouTube.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
At Tuesday Review AU. On all the social media except TikTok, basically.
And we got to get some TikTok on.
And we're trying
to Christian on our TikTok.
if we can get the YouTube started, then we can do YouTube Shorts, and if we can do YouTube Shorts, then we can do TikTok videos. But we're still early days. Hopefully 2024 will be,
we'll be on the YouTubes. All right. Thanks for listening, everyone. We'll be back next week. Adios, cousins.